I feel like a lot of people are living unfulfilling lives because they are letting external factors influence their decision making in their day-to-day life. So the best example that I can give you is being afraid of what others think of you. And it's essentially you letting an external factor, the thoughts that are in other people's minds, influence the decisions that you make in your own life. So I'll give you an example, a personal story of mine. When I was in high school, I seriously cared about what others thought of me. It was normal. I was young. It's a process, right? So there was this day. It was an early morning, around 8 a.m. ish. I was rolling up to the gates of my school, and normally there was always like 50 or 100 people outside of the gates just talking or smoking before classes started. And I roll up to school, normal clothes, a normal outfit, and I start going through these people in order to get into the school. And I just get this feeling on me that there's like 50, 100, 1,000 eyeballs looking at me. And it was weird. I felt like I was being watched, every single movement, every single decision that I made was being monitored by the universe. And I felt that pretty much at every single time of the day. And it was something that I had to work through in my mind while I grew up, because honestly, it was hurting the way I was living my life. When I went for a run and I would, be running with a sweater or a t-shirt, and I would get hot and I would want to take off my t-shirt, but then I would think, bro, but like, what if someone sees it, or what if a car goes by? Nowadays, I'm just like, fuck it. I'll just take it off, and then I'm running around the the city shirtless, because the truth is, nobody cares. No one cares, and sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, but I think it helps a lot of people, which is to realize that you're not special, bro. And what I mean by that, when I say that you're not special, is that there's not 1,000 people looking at you when you're in the mall. There's not 1,000 people looking at you when you're at the bus stop. You're not always being monitored. There's not people looking at you when you're walking on the street, checking your posture or checking if you're looking at the ground or at the stars. Nobody cares, okay? Because the truth is, people are worried about what others are thinking of themselves. They're not thinking of you. And it's kind of like this cycle where everybody's worried about what the neighbor is thinking of them, but the neighbor is doing the exact same thing. It's worrying about what the other person is thinking of them. So yeah, nobody cares. And I actually had a friend come up to me a while back, and he said he wanted to start posting on social media, like I do. But he asked me like, bro, doesn't it matter like what people say about you, what your friends say about you, well, on your back, and what, when people judge, etc., etc. And the first thing I told them was, firstly, those aren't my friends, so that's like a rule that I have. And the second thing that I told him was that it's a journey that you go through, and eventually you start to care less and less and less. I like to think of it as a muscle, that you train to eventually stop caring about what others think. So, of course, I went through that. When I started posting, I didn't know how to speak in front of a camera. It felt awkward to me. I was afraid of posting a video on YouTube. I still remember the day that I posted my first video, I was like hesitant to click the post button. I was there for like 15 minutes just thinking of like every possible scenario that could happen. I was just thinking like, oh, well, like, what if that person sees it, or what if this person sees it? And in the end, I clicked posts, and do you know what happened? Nothing happened. The video got like 2 views. And that's my exact point, bro. We think that all of these things are going to happen and we're going to endure all of this pain. But most of the times, the pain that we feel in our lives is created by imaginary and hypothetical scenarios that are going on inside of our minds, but that never come to fruition in real life. And it's a process, as I said, that we have to slowly almost rewire our brain into not letting external factors influence our decision making. And another example that I can give you is working out. For example, I'm always trying to look at people who are 10 years ahead of me, 20, 30, because I'm still young and I want to see what are some of the common problems in the future that people struggle with so that I can get ready for it. And a lot of the problems that I see is that older people tend to fall out of shape, and a common trait that I see in those people is exactly that. They let external factors influence their decisions. So let's say they had scheduled to go for a run Sunday at 4 p.m. When Sunday comes around and it's time for them to go for a run, they look out the window and it's raining. So they tell themselves, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow, but there is no tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not I'm not Rocky, but yeah, it's just this constant postponing of pain, and they never get to the action in and of itself. So that's why they're always constantly out of shape. And obviously it's not just being in shape. This causes a monopoly of problems, but this is the one common issue that I notice in people who are older than me, and they always have this struggle. They say they're going to work out in New Year's Eve, but then January comes around. It's cold, it's raining, nobody wants to wake up at 7 a.m. to go to the gym, and so they let these external factors influence their decision making. An external factor that I really struggle with is that my bed in the morning is really, really cozy. It's hot, so when the alarm rings, I just think, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to wake up to go to the gym. My classes only start at like 1 p.m. in college, so I could just stay here. I don't have to go to the gym today. But that's the thing, if I don't go today, then why would I go tomorrow? Because tomorrow the bed's going to be cozy as well. So I think it's a battle that we fight every day, not trying to let the external factors in. And there's not a solution that I can give you. It's just something that we have to fight day by day, and hopefully we'll get closer and closer to the way we want to live our lives. And I do think that in the end it will lead to a more fulfilled life, at least happier, because one of the things that causes most unhappiness in this world is setting a goal and then failing because you couldn't keep your own word. And yeah, our brains really struggle to accept that we failed ourselves. But unfortunately, it happens quite a lot. So I don't want any of my viewers to go through that. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy the message. As always, I love you, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right?